Hello again, everybody, and welcome back. I really hope that the conference is going great, and I really hope that you're going to enjoy this segment of the program. We're going to look at some corrective exercises for the shoulders and for the neck. These are really vital, and given most of us who work at desks for extended period of times do end up suffering some sort of neck or between the shoulder blade sort of pain or aggravation, then you'll find these really beneficial. We'll start in with the shoulder posture correction exercise first. We bring the arms up through such that the hands are just below and just forward of the shoulders. Then on the exhalation, we tip the fingers back and slide the arms back as far as you can. Inhale to release. And exhale, tipping the fingers back, squeezing the arms back, squeezing those shoulder blades together, and inhale to release. We want to endeavour to keep the rest of the posture intact. So we're not moving the torso around as we do that. So we're observing what we looked at in the previous segment about the overall standing posture. We want the pelvis to remain as the midpoint between the ankles and the crown of the head. Nice, long, light, floating line. Additionally, if you line me up with the painting behind me, you'll see that I'm not moving around either as one long unit or pelvis forward or chest forward or head forward. Everything else stays completely in place. We get the arms up into that correct position. We tip the fingers back and we squeeze the arms back against the stable structure. Inhale to release. And exhale. Fingers back, squeeze the arms back, squeezing those shoulder blades together and inhaling to release. So on the one hand, as we're doing this, we're stretching out the muscles of the chest, and we're also retraining the musculature of the upper back to take the shoulders into correct alignment. So typically during the working day, the shoulders start to round forward, and everything we do in life basically is in the forward plane. So the shoulders are encouraged to round forward. This exercise helps to open the shoulders back to where they need to be, actively engaging the musculature of the upper back to help to retrain those muscles and to inform the chest muscles of where they should be, how long they should be, taking the shoulders into correct alignment. Okay, so that's the shoulder posture correction exercise. Now I'm going to look at a neck posture correction exercise. For that, I'm going to relocate the computer, the camera over to here. And you just want to rest in against a wall. We'll do it in this configuration because it just makes life easier. You want your heels to be good 30, maybe 40 centimeters from the wall, and you're just resting in against the wall. So the back of the pelvis is against the wall, the back of the rib cage is against the wall. You'll have your natural lumbar arch through the lower back. So you're not trying to flatten the lumbar spine in, you're not trying to get the head against the wall. Just completely relaxed, leaning in against the wall. Then what we want to do is try and slide the head back horizontally. So we just travel the jawline back horizontally on the exhalation. And then just release that squeeze on the inhale. So it's very small, very subtle movement. Squeezing back on the exhalation and releasing on the inhale. So as we slide the jaw back, we're also lengthening the base of the skull up and away from the shoulder blades. Inhale to release. Squeezing back on the exhalation and releasing on the inhale. So you see I'm not moving my torso around at the same time. Torso has to stay completely centered where it begins, in that relaxed place. So a couple of things you want to guard against is the lifting of the chin as you travel back. Definitely don't do that. So people are inclined to do that to feel like they're getting more range of movement. Don't worry about getting extra range of movement. It's critical to do it correctly, and that means you'll be very restricted in the range of movement. That's fine. So we squeeze the head back, trying to flatten the back of the neck towards the wall, and then inhale to release. The other thing we need to guard against is over projecting the head forward. So we squeeze back from center and then just release the squeeze. Be sure you don't do this, because this is the exact postural problem that we're trying to correct out. It's called forward head syndrome, and it's what ends up happening for a lot of people who work on computers for extended hours, particularly if you're working on laptops. The head starts to project forward. It puts a lot of strain on the musculature of the neck and the upper back between the shoulder blades. So this exercise is specifically designed to correct that very thing. So we can't be perpetuating it in the exercise. So from this neutral place, we just squeeze backwards, and then we release to that neutral place. We squeeze back from neutral, and then we just release the squeeze. Very straightforward, squeezing back on the exhalation and releasing on the inhale. Squeezing back on the exhalation and releasing on the inhale. Okay, now that exercise, when you first start doing it, it can create a lot of fatigue very quickly. So I'd recommend in the beginning, you don't need to do more than about 8 to 10 repetitions, then give it a complete break, and you can possibly come back and review it, after a minute or so. Do not keep going with 20, 30, 40 repetitions. You'll just stress the neck out. Okay, so those two exercises are vitally important for correcting the overall posture, and then of course they facilitate getting the shoulder girdle and the head in the correct place over the pelvis in sitting and standing posture. So very, very important to get those two things right.